Come out, oh, come out, everybody. It's another Christmas morning, Chief Obi shouted, his hands wide open, grinning with excitement. In a village called Omaza, there lived a man called Chief Obi. His generosity was known far and wide. Every Christmas morning, Chief Obi would wake before the roosters crowed and began cooking with his wife, Vivian. By the time the sun painted the sky orange, his compound would be alive with the sounds of cooking, pots clanging, firewood crackling, and the sweet hiss of oil meeting onions. The aroma, oh, the aroma would dance through the village like an invisible spirit, sneaking into every home, making mouths water and stomachs grumble with anticipation. It was the smell of perfectly seasoned jollof rice, chicken so tender it fell off the bone, fried plantains golden as sunset, and meat pies that melted on your tongue. Chief Obi is cooking again, children would shout, running through the paths between houses. By 7 in the morning, Chief's compound would look like a feast hall. Long tables covered with bright clothes stood ready. Mountains of jollof rice sat in giant pots, each grain perfectly separated and shining with groundnut oil and seasonings. The chicken pieces were piled high, and the fried plantains, sweet dodo, glistened like treasure. Chief Obi would stand at the center of it all, his wrapper tied firmly around his waist, a big smile on his face, serving spoon in hand. Come, come and eat, Chief Obi would call out, his voice booming with warmth. Everyone is welcome in my house today. Families arrived in their Christmas best clothes, mothers in colorful Ankara, fathers in their cleanest shirts, children skipping ahead with empty bowls. Even women who had already started cooking in their own homes would abandon their pots. Why bother? No one's rice could compete with Chief Obi's magical touch. My rice always burns at the bottom, Mama Ngozi would say, shaking her head. Mine never has enough taste, another woman added. People came from neighboring villages too, walking miles just to taste the Chief Obi's Christmas rice. They would arrive dusty and tired, but leave with full bellies and grateful hearts. Families who could barely afford Gary loved this day the most. For them, Christmas meant one thing: Chief Obi's feast. They knew Chief Obi would provide, and they would eat until their bellies felt like drums. From morning until evening, Chief Obi and Vivian would serve. No one was allowed to help. No, no, just sit and eat, Chief would say, waving away anyone who offered. This is my joy. Just take the rice and be happy. After eating and drinking, Chief Obi would walk around with a basket full of white envelopes containing 20,000 naira each and give one to each family. The windows cry with relief. Even struggling farmers feel hope for the new year. Chief Obi is blessed by the gods themselves, the elders would say. He has the heart of our ancestors. Others agreed. But no one knows the reason why Chief cooks only on Christmas Day, not even his wife. They didn't know the rice was cursed, that every grain, every delicious spoonful carried something dark inside it. A spell, a sacrifice to pay, so that Chief Obi's wealth would grow and grow. Chief had learned this from a powerful herbalist years ago, back when he was poor and desperate. The herbalist had told him, feed the people once a year, make them love you, make them bless your name. And as they eat, the luck will flow into your pockets like water into a well. Whoever ate the rice would lose something slowly, like a thief in the night. Misfortune would creep into their lives. The businessman who ate the rice would return home to find his shop had been robbed or his best customers had mysteriously disappeared. One young man who worked in Lagos got a termination letter 2 weeks later. Some people fell sick with strange illnesses that even the hospital couldn't explain. Others went mad, talking to themselves in the market square. Poor families became poorer. Their yam farms would fail. Money seemed to run away from them like water through a basket. But nobody connected the misfortune to Chief Obi's December rice. No one even knew that Chief Obi and his family had never eaten out of the rice. In fact, he usually locks his children inside. Papa, can I try just one spoon? Anna, his daughter, once asked, her eyes wide with longing. No, Chief Obi's voice was sharp, startling everyone, then softer. That rice is for the villagers, not for us. Even Paulo, Chief's only son, asked, but he refused. But what Chief Obi doesn't know is that no secret lasts forever. As usual, Chief Obi's house was full of villagers eating and drinking. Chief Obi was busy serving food, his eyes fixed on the long line of people who wanted more food. Meanwhile, inside the house, Paulo looked at the people eating the rice. Some even asked for more. He felt like tasting the rice and chicken. He was too curious. He just wants to taste the rice. By 3 in the afternoon, Paulo could no longer endure the hunger. He decided to do something about it. Paulo picked 2 toys and carefully sneaked out of the house through the back door. He walked to the side of the house and carefully joined the crowd eating at the back of his house. He sat calmly at the back, looking at how people were eating. He loved the way they ate happily. Soon, 2 young boys saw Paulo sitting alone in a corner, holding toys. Their eyes shone bright with curiosity. It was the first time they saw something like that. They approached him after some time. Can you allow us to play with that thing? The boy named Chukudi asked. The other boy, Alex, nodded his head quickly. Yes, we will give you our rice and big chicken. Just let us play with it. Paulo looked down at the plate. The rice was perfect, each grain separate and glossy. The chicken was a beautiful golden brown. The dodo slices were perfectly fried. His mouth watered. Paulo hesitated for just a moment before he smiled, then gave them the toys. Paulo picked up his spoon and dug in. The first taste was incredible. The rice was even more delicious than it smelled. Perfectly seasoned, not too salty, not too soft. The chicken was tender and flavorful. He had never tasted anything so good. He took another spoonful, then another. But something strange happened. Paulo saw one of the rice turned into a maggot. Then another one did the same. Then another one. His eyes went wide with terror. Ah! He shouted. Meanwhile, Chief Obi felt his heart race like thunder where he stood. His hand shook so much he could barely control himself. Sweat suddenly formed on his body. It felt like they poured water on his body. Those standing in line to collect food notices this. Vivian also noticed. Chief, are you all right? Vivian asked, worry evident on her face. Chief Obi nodded. Yeah, yes. He couldn't form the words very well, but he knew something was going on. Something doesn't feel right. The air felt too thick and foggy. The voice shouted again. The compound went silent. Every head turned. Every conversation stopped. Chief Obi froze. He knew that voice. He knew it better than his own heartbeat. Paulo, he whispered, then louder, pushing through the crowd. Paulo! He found his son at the far table, standing now, pointing at his plate with shaking hands, his face twisted in horror. Papa, Papa, there are things in the rice. Chief Obi's eyes went wide in shock. He knew Paulo was seeing the truth. The magic was showing itself, and something evil was about to happen. Everyone, please! Vivian appeared, her voice high with panic. Please, continue eating. My son, he's not feeling well. But the villagers were murmuring now. standing, craning their necks to see what was happening. They could see that the plate of rice had turned to maggots. Chief Obi ignored them and quickly grabbed Paulo because he knew what would happen next. Paulo shouted, "Ah!" Paulo shouted, "Your hand is burning me." But he didn't stop. He couldn't stop. He drew Paulo closer to himself. But the more he drew him closer, the more he noticed he tried to free himself. Paulo's body jerked in his hand, his eyes glistening with water. Chief held him closer, but all of a sudden, Paulo's skin grayed and wrinkled, aging fast until his body changed to the body of a 70 years old man. He couldn't talk or move. Everyone stood there, unable to eat the rice again, asking different questions. "No, Paulo," Chief Obi shouted. "You're my only son, the one who would continue my lineage. This can't happen to you." "What did you do to my son?" Vivian asked, crying. "What is going on, Chief Obi?" one village elder asked. "What have you been giving us?" Villagers began to talk, raining curses on Chief Obi. It seems their eyes suddenly opened and they began to realize the rice he was giving them was in exchange for something from them. Someone suddenly shouted, "You killed my daughter. She died after eating your rice the previous year." Another one shouted, "My business died after he ate your rice." Everyone began talking. They want answers, but Chief Obi doesn't have anything to say. Paulo was taken to the hospital. The doctor took care of him, but Paulo didn't turn back into the 8 years old boy he used to be. Chief Obi was thrown into prison for 6 months. He lost everything he amassed using people's luck. Vivian had moved out of the house with their 3 children and started working for people to feed her family before he arrived. Give this story a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to this channel for more stories.